Welcome to Pocket Farm, one of the fields that we rent here, and it's the most beautiful sunset evening, so I thought I'm going to grab the camera and come and record some sun salutations. So I haven't really rehearsed what I'm going to say, but I just wanted to share it with you. It's so beautiful. We're surrounded by gorgeous alders and poplar trees. And is that a hawthorn over there? I think so. We've got so much going on, it's just beautiful. And the river's just over there. You might hear it from time to time. So let's just, for a moment, seat ourselves however we feel comfortable. Give ourselves a nice long, straight back so we can take good amounts of air into the lungs and around the body. And just allow our hands to make contact with the body, however suits us. Hands down if we need some grounding, or if you've got good energy, sharing it. Turning the hands up towards the sky and just tuning into our breath. Tuning into our bodies and how they feel right now. How does our body feel? We've created this time and space for us to listen to ourselves. Just going to invite you to take 3 deep breaths in and out, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Taking a breath for yourself. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And last breath. Lovely. Just going to bring ourselves back into the spaces, fluttering our eyes open if they were closed, or if not, just listening to what our body needs. Does it need a little roll, a little head movement? I'm going to bring us up to standing and get straight into sun salutations. So when you're ready, just turning yourself onto your side, onto tabletop. A nice strong tabletop. The ground's a bit wonky here. It might be for you at home. So just finding some secure footing for the hands and the feet. And then from there, when you're ready, curling those toes under and just bringing yourself up into a downward dog. You don't have to stretch the knees straight away or the hands. Just listen to what your body needs right now. Maybe a pedal through the feet. And maybe a pad from hand to hand. And maybe a sway of the hips. And then from there, we're just going to walk our feet up towards our hands to the top of the mat. And when we're there, just finding a nice fold in the body. When you're ready, taking a strong breath in. Bring those hands overhead into prayer position if that suits you. And then bring those hands down to the heart, just pausing by the heart for a moment. Just allowing that energy to flow around the body and just celebrate how amazing our bodies can be, what they do for us every day. And then just letting those hands go and taking a breath. I'm just going to move my microphone because it seems to be dancing all over the shop. Okay, and then while we're there, we're just going to take sun salutation A. I'll talk it through as quite slowly, and then we'll do a couple a little bit faster before moving on to sun salutation B and C. So again, everybody does sun salutations differently, and the way I teach it, you'll do it differently to wherever you are at home. So just taking what you need and can from today's practice. Taking a breath in, bring the hands up, bring the hands to touch in prayer, bring the energy into the body and taking yourself into a forward fold, down to the ground. Inhaling into a half fold, lowering to a forward fold, stepping back into plank. Nice long, strong back in plank. Engaged core pressing into the ground with the hands before lowering into chaturanga. People do chaturanga a number of different ways. I use it as a press up, but you can bring your knees, chest and chin down if that works for you. And from chaturanga, we're going to bring ourselves into cobra just now. You can take upward dog if you're feeling a little bit more flexible, but just a small back bend here, led by the head, taking our chest out. Breath in, curling the toes under or preparing to take the hips back into downward dog. Downward dog, we're pressing into the ground with the hands and with the feet, feeling that stretch down the back of the hamstrings, sliding those shoulder blades apart as we press into the floor, keeping the head in line with the arms if that works for you, but I have a bigger busted friend and she prefers to gaze between her hands. It's more comfortable. So just paying attention as to how the different asanas, the different postures work for you. And then from here you can step or jump because it's our first one. I'm just going to walk or even step my feet up to my hands, taking myself into a forward fold. Really trying to keep that back nice and long. We're taking the hands to the side, gathering in a breath, gathering in sunshine, bringing it into the hands, and then bringing it into the heart, past the heart, and then down, letting those hands go. We start each sun salutation in Tadasana, mountain pose. And mountain pose is actually, whilst it looks really easy, it can be quite difficult to do in the sense of it's where your body aligns so that you really feel that kind of length through the body, that connection with the ground. So I'm just going to invite you here to just lift your toes off the ground on each foot and just place them back down to give yourself a nice sure footing. And then from there, just sway a little bit to bring your weight. For me, it works to be a little bit better in the toes, but again, it's for yourself. And I bring my hips a little bit more over my heels and then my heart over a little bit over my hips. So there's a nice length. It's almost like you could almost take off. It's almost like a launch. It can take quite a bit of concentration. But once you've found your Tadasana, we're going to take another sun salutation A. So taking our hands sideways and up into prayer. Bring that energy into the body as you forward fold down to the ground, nice and long and strong. Letting that head drop. And then from there, inhaling into half fold. Nice lengthening in the back. Hands on the thighs if you want a little support. And then exhaling back down into your forward fold. Stepping back into plank. Pressing that ground away. It's a long, strong spine and core. Lowering into chaturanga. However works for you today. And then guiding with that top of your head forward into cobra. I'm going to take upward dog this time. So I'm straightening my arms because that works for me, but again, you just do what works for you and how your back is feeling today. And then from here, I'm going to push back on my hands, hit my hips up, curl my toes under and take a nice strong downward dog. I have to adjust from cobra coming back into downward dog because I've got quite long arms and legs. So again, just feel like if you need to adjust, so you get a really good stretch through the hamstrings and the arms and the shoulders and the hands, then just adjust. And each day you do downward dog, it might be different for your body. So it's really about listening to what your body needs. So you feel that stretch through the whole body. And I'm going to jump my feet up towards my hands this time. Going to take myself into a forward fold. And then inhaling into a half fold. Exhaling into a forward fold. Again, your legs don't need to be absolutely straight, but it works for me today. And then from there, taking myself upright with my arms, gathering in that energy, the light, bringing it into the heart. And then just letting those hands go and just finding that nice strong Tadasana. I'm going to go for sun salutation B now. There's a slight difference here. We're not going to go with our arms straight up. We're going to go into chair first. So chair, nice. Almost like we're going to sit down on a chair with our bottom and we're stretching the arms out in a nice strong diagonal from the tops of the fingers down to the bottom. Taking a breath in and then exhaling into a forward fold. Inhaling into a half fold. Exhaling into a forward fold. Stepping back into plank. Taking yourself through chaturanga. Inhaling into the cobra or upward dog. And then from there pushing back into a nice strong downward dog. But this time we're going to bring our right foot through to the inside of the right hand. Taking ourselves into warrior one. And extending those arms up and out to the sky. So with warrior one, we're lunging onto that front right leg and the left leg is slightly turned out straight if that suits your body, but it's a strong base. That's all about a strong base for warrior one, so that you can really throw that chest forward and open it out and feel that strength in the body, throughout the whole body. Taking a breath in and out. Another strong breath in and out. Breath in. Bring your hands down to the ground, either side of the foot. Then taking that foot back, we're going to take a plank, chaturanga. Inhaling forward to either cobra or upward dog. And then pushing back with the hips into downward dog. And then we're going to take warrior one on the other side. So we're going to bring that left foot through to the inside of the left hand. Creating warrior one on the other side. Taking our hands in parallel up towards the sky. Inviting that sun into the chest, into our eyes. While finding a nice strong base in the feet. Pressing into the ground with the right and the left foot. And sometimes you can feel a really lovely energy between the two hands once you've got that strong base. That energy is just passing through the whole body. Breath in and out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in. Bring the hands down to the ground, either side of the foot. We're going to take another vinyasa. So plank, chaturanga. Inhaling into cobra or upward dog. For lifting our hips up and taking ourselves back to downward dog. And then from there, either stepping or jumping your feet up towards your hands. Taking ourselves into forward fold, into half fold. Exhaling into forward fold. And then taking yourself into chair. Nice strong chair. Really feel like in that engaged core. Arms extended out and strong. Breath in and breath out. And then arms come down. I'm going to do that one more time. I'm not going to cue so much, just so we get more of a pace on with sun salutation B, but we're going to go again. So take a breath in, take ourselves into chair. As you breathe out, we're going to go into a forward fold. Inhale into half fold. Exhale to forward fold. Stepping back into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into cobra, upward dog. And pushing your hips back into downward dog. Bring the right foot through to the inside of the right hand to warrior one. Letting those shoulders dissolve away. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breath in. And the hands either side of the foot. Taking that right foot back into plank. Lowering into chaturanga. And leading with the head to cobra or upward dog. Before pushing the hips back to downward dog. And then from there we're going to bring the left foot forward to warrior one. Taking the hands up. Strong and in parallel. Up towards the sky. Finding that strong base in the feet. Inhale and exhale. Taking those shoulders down. Making sure that right hip comes forward, keeping you square to the front of your mat. Last breath for yourself. Bringing your hands down to the mat. Taking that left foot behind into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into either cobra or upward dog. And pushing back into downward dog and stepping or jumping your feet up towards your hands. Into forward fold. Half fold. Forward fold. And then chair. Breath in, breath out. Extend your arms up, open them, and take Tadasana. Lovely. Settling the body, the mind, and the soul. I'm not going to share a shavasana because I think you can do that for yourselves if you want to and if it's the right thing for you to do. But I'm going to say thank you for sharing with me sun salutations at sunset. It was a privilege to spend time with you. I hope you take forward the energy that you've created for yourself and that centre out to those that you meet and spend time with today. Thank you.